Hello, compassionate and heart-centered business owners and executives. Today we're talking about the second superpower of compassionate and heart-centered leaders: assertiveness. You may remember that the first one is empathy. However, empathy can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, your ability to connect with the needs of others and see the world from other person's perspective helps you to create amazing relationships with your team. On the other hand, if empathy is not balanced with assertiveness, you might fall into the trap of avoiding challenging conversations, struggling to move your message across your organization, and missing out on executive presence. In this episode, I'll show you 3 steps that will start your assertiveness training, build your self-confidence, and open the path to your empowered life. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell button to get notified for new episodes each week. I'm Neizvestnaya, founder of Executive Craft, and welcome to my channel, a place for heart-centered leaders. As leadership and executive coach, I'm passionate about emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and transformational leadership training. My clients gain confidence, increase influence, and become fully empowered. Are you ready to elevate your leadership? In my transformational leadership coaching program, I have several hours of content and practice on assertiveness training. So for this episode, I really struggled to choose where to begin and how to whittle it down to 10 minutes. With so much content, we'll have several videos on assertiveness, so stay tuned. To demystify assertiveness, I divide assertiveness training into 3 parts: your beliefs about yourself and others, emotions that come up for you when you practice assertiveness, and your actual behavior. In other words, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Today, I'm giving you 1 step for your belief system, 1 for your emotions, and 1 for your behavior. Assertiveness can be best experienced in communication. Specifically, assertiveness should manifest itself during challenging and uncomfortable conversations that we want to avoid. It's no surprise that these conversations happen with people that trigger us the most. These conversations play out in your mind long after they're done, leaving you second-guessing yourself and ruminating. Let's start with the shift in your belief system and thinking about assertiveness. To easily understand what assertiveness is, think about what it's not. It's not aggressive behavior, pushing your agenda no matter what and trying to dominate everyone in the jungle. It's not being passive-aggressive, which is aggressiveness expressed in an indirect form, like being negative behind someone's back, giving someone the silent treatment, being sarcastic, or using other forms of ineffective communication. Assertiveness, it's not passive behavior either. It's not giving up your power. A passive stance in a relationship often manifests itself as confusion. And under that layer of confusion, you can discover anger and resentment. The first and most critical shift to make for an assertive mindset is to start paying attention to your relationship needs. It's a big step for a compassionate leader, and it doesn't happen overnight. The good news is that it can happen with regular practice and training. Before you understand other people's perspective and care for their feelings and needs, start with yourself. Take care of your feelings and needs before moving on to others. You may be hesitant to implement this step, or being scared of becoming selfish, narcissistic, and even losing that superpower we call empathy. Fear not, this wouldn't happen. Instead, you'll develop a balanced relationship pattern when you will receive support and appreciation rather than overgiving at the expense of your mental and physical well-being. You'll also notice that people around you become more capable and able to function better as you empower them to be responsible and accountable in this new dynamic. This applies to both professional and personal relationships. You may have noticed that the patterns there are very similar. So, connecting with your needs and wants, embracing the idea of assertiveness as a healthy model where both you and other person wins. This is the first mindset shift. Maybe you have abandoned your needs some time ago and now it is difficult to reconnect with them. They are there. Nothing is lost. You just need to listen to your heart again. Slow down. Pay attention. Listen to yourself. Here's one way to get started. Ask yourself a question. If I had it my way in this relationship or situation, what would that look like? What would be the very first step in that direction? The first immediate need to be addressed. I am curious, what are your beliefs about assertiveness? Post in the comments below. Step 2. Harness the power of your emotions. As you start to pay attention to your needs and consider the possibility of expressing these needs in assertive communication, powerful emotions will bubble up to the surface. Shame, guilt, sadness, anger. Let's talk about this last one. What is your relationship with anger? Do you try to suppress it because it's a negative emotion and you're a nice person? Nice people aren't supposed to get angry, right? You might also feel confused in certain situations and not get in touch with your anger. Experiencing anger can be unsettling and unpleasant. We must remember that it's an emotion, energy in motion. A transient experience that was meant to be short-lived, if you allow yourself to experience it instead of avoiding it. Anger can be a great teacher. Once you're in touch with your anger, you can use it as a sign that something isn't working for you in a relationship. This is when you reconnect with your needs, your values, express your point of view, or make an assertive request. Now, anger is a powerful emotion. You need to get to know it well and master emotional agility before you can truly harness its power. Otherwise, you'll be just carried away by it. Be mindful of your emotions. As you train your mindfulness muscles and learn to be with your emotions without getting carried away by them, you'll be able to master assertive behavior with ease. So far, we discussed a mindset shift that needs to happen. We also discussed the emotional shift that needs to happen. Now, on to action steps and actual behavior. Assertive communication. This is the third and most essential component of the assertiveness formula. Now, all you've got to do is to put it into action. Otherwise, you'll be thinking about alternative scenarios of different conversations without doing anything about them. This ruminating contributes to both anxiety and resentment. And worse, nothing will change. So, where do you start? Begin with the least challenging situations and build to increasingly difficult conversations based on your small and consistent wins. Making requests is a great starting point. One big misconception about assertiveness is that it's just about expressing your feelings. While expressing how you feel can be helpful, it's actually not necessary all the time. In fact, it can even be counterproductive. What is necessary is to focus on your end goal. What would you like to be different? What would you like the outcome of this conversation to be? Think about the request in advance and build to it. Let's say you have a bow and arrow. Make your end goal your target. Now, there is no guarantee that the other person will cooperate. You can't control other people's behaviors or emotions. But if you don't make a request and you don't shoot, you miss your chance to hit the target altogether. When you avoid making a request because you are scared of rejection, you get short-term relief, which doesn't help your long-term goals. It stands in the way of your empowered life. Train courage by making requests and train emotional agility by learning to work with the fear of rejection. Take it one step at a time and stay in your power. If you are interested in learning the blueprint for assertive communication, sign up for my free 1-hour training, How to Succeed as an Overgiver Without Becoming Resentful or Losing the Passion for your work, by clicking in the link in the description, or go to my website executivecraft.com. If you're in a leadership position and know that you need help with assertiveness training, I invite you to connect and book a free one-on-one discovery call with me. Let's dive into specifics of your communication patterns. We'll assess 5 key areas: your self-regard, stress tolerance, emotional regulation, assertiveness, and influence, to create an action plan for each of these domains. To apply for the call, click on the link in the description or go to executivecraft.com/apply and choose the time in my schedule that works for you. Stay safe, be well, stand up for what you believe in. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and share it with other heart-centered leaders. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss next week's episode. Have an inspiring week, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.